G'day guys, so today we are talking about the Sumo Deadlift. Really good exercise for your hips and probably a really good beginning exercise for anyone who is starting to get into doing deadlifts as a major mover and a major exercise. Really good compound exercise, so you're going to really target your posterior chain, which is all the way from potentially the top of your neck all the way down to the back of your heels. Just as the lift suggests, or the name of the lift, we're actually going to start in a sumo-like position. So a sumo position is out nice and wide, and we want our feet to start out where there are slits in the bar. Quick little tip to identify different bars. Our deadlift bar will have no knurl in the middle, so no rough stuff in the middle, or as where squat bar will. So you are looking when you do your deadlifts to have a nice smooth middle section there, not something rough there, and it just comes down to the flex in the bar and your ability to move the weight a little bit easier. Our starting position. Where we want our feet is, like I said, out near the slits, so we're going to be out nice and wide. Allows us plenty of room to take our body between our legs and stand back up again. We are looking to create 3 points of contact in the foot. The reason why we want to do this is because our glutes and our hip stability really rely on what's going on with our feet. So we want to make sure that the weight is transferring out to the outsides of our feet, and we are creating 3 points of contact. Those 3 points of contact are in line with your big toe, in line with your pinky toe, both on where the toes connect to your foot, and then at the base of your heel. So a good way to feel these points are get up onto your tippy toes like this. You can feel your big toe and your pinky toe. That's point 1 and 2. And then if you rock back onto your heels, that's point 3. So what our glutes do is a movement called external rotation. That's the ability to go like that. This is how we want to start. So we want to already promote our glutes getting involved in this exercise. So we're going to start with our foot slightly turned out, pointing out in that direction there, maybe at a 45-degree angle. Place your foot in line with the slits and at 45. Now what I want you to do from this position here is actually rock back onto point number 3. Let's say that your heel is point number 3, and you are going to roll your weight along the outside of your foot to point number 2, which is in line with your pinky toe, and then you're just going to plant point number 1, which is in line with your big toe, down the ground, and that is your start position there. From here, I'm hoping that you feel your glutes already start to switch on and start to become involved in the exercise. From this position here, I want you to think that when you go down to pick up the weight, that you and your legs are a pair of scissors. And how it's going to work is you're going to spread out like so and come back in, just like you would a pair of scissors or hedges or something like that, where you go out and come back in. So again, 45 with the feet, 3 points of contact, start on your heel, roll your weight out, and then pin your 1 and 2 down onto the ground. We're going to push our knees out like so and act like a pair of scissors and snap back up when we have the bar. So again, knees go out rather than forward or anything like that. And you'll see that the bar will stay exactly where you want it to be, and it'll be nice and tight to the shin. A normal conventional deadlift might start a little bit off your shin and in line with the midfoot. This one is going to start on your shin and on your shin. Next, what I want you to think about is that we need to have nice tall shins. A good example is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The reason why people can't go up the Leaning Tower of Pisa is because it's on the piss, right? And so if you're thinking about yourself as a building and you're setting your foundation as your feet and you're coming down, what we want to make sure that we have is nice tall shins that are up nice and straight, and you're allowed to transfer as much force through the ground as you possibly can. If your knees, and this is the importance of foot position as well, if your knees are too wide and you are coming up like so, you can see how my knees are buckled in, and we are not going to get the most amount of force driving through that ground in order to execute the lift properly. So we want to make sure that when we are coming down, that we're pushing out like scissors and our shins are nice and tall. From this position, it all comes down to our back and what we do with our back. Now, whenever we do any back exercise, the weight wants to pull you forward and out of this position or into this position here. it is on you to pull your shoulder blades back and down, and this will activate the big muscle in your lats. Your lats will go all the way down into the lower part of your back and actually insert up into the front of your arm or your humerus just here. So they are massive stabilizers for us when we are executing this lift. So we want to make sure that we're pulling back and down during this lift, and it's all about a lock rather than having to lift the bar with your back. Again, so we're going to set our feet, points 1, 2, and 3, roll, and then scissor out. From this position, we're going to grab a hold of the bar and we're going to pull our shoulder blades back and down. It's almost as if we are going to roll our elbows in and create tension through our back that way. So again, 3 points of contact, scissor out, and then with our pinky finger, we're going to try and bend the bar, roll our elbows in, and pull our shoulder blades back and down. Oh, I just lost the mic. So pull the shoulder blades back and down. From this position here, all it is a push through the ground and snap through with the hips. Okay, again, as we're lowering it, we're going to scissor out, knees go out, and it's going to be nice and tight. I do suggest wearing something to protect your shins because you want this bar as tight to your body as possible. When you're in the bottom position here, it'll feel as if your arms are on the in, or your arms are coming in towards the midline of your body, and that your knees are almost a bit too far forward. If you're scissoring and you are coming in nice and quickly, then that shouldn't be an issue. If you're starting to drive through your legs like a squat pattern, that's when, as you come up, you're going to take out your knees. So again, 45 with the feet, weight starting on point 3, and we're going to roll to point 2 and then lock in point 1. We're going to scissor out, grab a hold of the bar, roll our elbows in, and feel as if we're bending the bar with our pinkies. Shoulder blades go back and down, and we're pushing through the floor, snapping with the hips. Again, reverse the process. We're going to scissor out, touch the ground, and away we go. Now, once you have all those cues down pat, in time, all you'll need to do is concentrate on the placement of the bar on the way back down. And that might be just thinking about, okay, I need to put this on top of my heel, on top of my ankles. So by doing so, your knees will go out and you'll finish in that position there. Come up, bang, snap forward. Knees go out, snap forward. And that there, team, is how you go about doing a sumo deadlift.